to be this guy named Beeper Man from Beeper City who would sell beepers in the Bay Area, and he'd go beeple bobble beep.
That's going to be the intro. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where we each week try and put the love back in you right. I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and as always, we have the co-host, Manulus Rojas Martin.
Junior. That's right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week and allowing us to put the love back in you. I hope that you,
right.
Yeah, I hope that this week is off to a good start for you. It's Tuesday and long week to go, but thank you for getting through the middle of the week with us.
Can I just tell you something, Manny?
Yeah,
I
what's
love
up?
the positivity you bring because I'm such an asshole. So it's such a good balance that you are such a nice and beautiful man.
And
I
then,
love you.
then
I just want
yeah.
to give you roses, while you're here. I'm
Thank
giving you
you.
your roses.
Man, it's so crazy because then it's like you tune in on Wednesdays and I'm just a complete fucking asshole.
That's the flip of the yin and yang.
Exactly.
All right. Our teaser last week was Manny and Jay. What is your advice for surviving a long distance relationship or even a pandemic relationship with minimal physical touch? Great question.
Yes.
Well, first, have you ever had any long distance relationships?
Yeah, I remember me
Who was
and he was a very nice gentleman, Jay.
Named Jay.
I don't know. Yeah, so the girl that I dated when I was 15, we were like, hey, we're gonna wait for each other. And literally, like, I want to say like 2 weeks after I got up here, she was already banging some other dude. So that didn't work.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. She was, promiscuous girl. Yeah.
So I got some long distance on that dick that was
yeah
down.
Man, that shit was yeah, so that
Putting
didn't
some
work.
miles on that dick.
Yeah, but outside of that, I don't think I've really been in a long distance relationship, so I may not be the best person to answer that. I know me and Crystal have been like, she's been traveling and then I've been here, and I think that it's just communication. If you can do a long distance call, definitely do those. I mean, she was in Cambodia doing a research project for a few weeks.
Did she go like this? Hey, I'm going to be in Cambodia.
Yeah, it was.
And Cambodia gonna be in me.
Oh man, yeah. So that wasn't too bad. But I mean,
how long was she there?
Probably, I want to say, was it 8 weeks or no? It had to be like 6 weeks or something like. Maybe it was 8 weeks. I don't know, something like that. But it was a research project where she was yeah.
No, I'm laughing because I'm like, were you like this? Like you would get on the video with her and you'd be like, oh baby, I miss you so much. I can't wait till you get home. Then you hang up and you're like, woo! I got the fucking place to myself. I'm fucking video gaming, jack it off, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, just not even washing my ass for weeks.
This is the greatest day ever.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it was
like, and then she started interrupting. Then she's like, Manny, you have an end to the call. Oh baby, I miss you so much.
I was looking at a picture of you while I was doing it.
Jesus.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that ultimately for me, it was just communication. I mean, this was really before Zoom and everything. This was like Skype was still the thing, and the connection was horrible. But for the most part, we were just, hey, and it's you're on different time schedules, so it's like I can't even tell you how many hours ahead. So that one was. It was all right. I mean, not too bad. It was better than the one when I was 15. What about you?
Yeah. As far as we know. No, I've had a couple. When I was like 21, I was dating this lovely lady, Nicolasa, Panay lady, and I had moved from Oregon up to Washington, and we tried to. It's crazy though to think about, like you said, this is before like even texting was a real thing. This is back when you had the fucking T9 everything. That's how old I am. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Hey man, T9 was a lifesaver. You didn't, you like, and here's the thing about T9, and you should never text and drive, but you could text and drive and just over here on one hand, just
you just count when's the yeah. Kids now are like, T9, is that the new Terminator?
So corny.
But that was really difficult because there was no texting really.
Yeah.
There was no video messaging or anything. Since then, with the pandemic and like and like when I was dating Isabel, I would be on the road, and we would I mean, we lived in the same city, but I was on the road a lot. So
Right.
I think the biggest thing is video chatting. Like I would get done with the show at, whatever. I'd be on the East Coast, and maybe I get done and back to the hotel at like 11:30 East Coast time. And then I would hit her up, and she works sometimes late hours. She was a nurse, and so I'd hit her up, and we'd chat or whatever, and like kind of, it was fine actually. I mean, for the most part, that was all right when we
Yeah.
with that, and I think that's a major part or key. Basically, it's like use to your advantage what technology we have.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah, use everything you can. But I think video messaging is huge because
And that's a big thing. You got to have trust because it's like you can't have somebody being like, "All right, now I need you to take the camera phone under the bed, do that,
yeah,
go in the closet." So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's yeah. There's just, you see the closet door open, the two little eyes like fucking behind you. What the fuck is that?
it's a demon. It's a demon.
Yeah, yeah. It was the video messaging is. I prefer video messaging over any of the other communication. I prefer it over talking and texting.
Yeah.
Just talking on the phone, I hate just talking on the phone. I would say probably for me it would go video messaging, texting, and then talking on the phone.
Yeah, talking on the phone is just awful. I don't know what it is about talking on the phone. It's like I would rather, yeah, honestly, whatever Crystal calls, I'm like in the middle of a video game or some shit, and I'm just like,
I'm
okay,
shitting playing
yeah,
this video game.
oh
I
man,
mean, and the
yeah,
worst, I mean, like every comic's done a joke about it, but like the worst is they text you and then they call you. Like they text you
oh,
first and you're like in the middle of responding. Then they call you and you're like, what the fuck are you calling me for? Fuck, I haven't even responded yet.
I'm telling you, that's the thing is texting has made life way too convenient. It's like I would much rather text you than call you.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people I really call, I'll call you rarely. I mean, if it's something urgent, but it's never more than like 30 seconds that we talk.
Yeah.
And then if I call my sister, we'll chat for a bit, and then my mom and my buddy Jeff. That's about it. So, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
outside of that, I hate talking on the phone. So.
All right. So yeah, I would say video messaging is huge.
Yeah, and if if it's a new relationship, I just want to say be careful about sexting and all that shit
Uh,
because you don't want your shit to end up on somebody else's phone and then it doesn't work
yeah,
and then
I can't really because I only got 4 gigs of data.
it's just fucking massive. Is that a baby's arm?
I don't have panoramic as one of my camera options, so I can't get the whole thing. I have to send it to you in different files.
Oh,
Okay, here's
that's
the head. Here's first part of the shaft. So stupid. The balls come in two separate. All right. Anyways, just fucking idiots.
Jesus.
Jay and Manny. Most women choose what the wedding looks like. If you two got to plan a wedding and your lady sat back, what would it look like? Oh man.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm going to add a caveat to this.
Yeah.
So everything that question presents, and this is the caveat. Whatever you want, she 100% wants. So like,
ooh.
yeah. So it's not like you have to plan it and be like, fuck, I hope she likes it. It literally is like whatever you is what you would want. She is down for it, whatever that may be.
Right. So it's
now,
like,
what would your shit be?
so like hookers.
Yeah.
No. For real, it would probably be something ridiculous. It'd be like, okay, there's an arcade, there. So it's like it's got to have Mario Kart, but a 4-player Mario Kart. I don't know if you ever got a chance to play that, Jay. It's amazing. I would have what else? I mean, definitely. So a bunch of arcades. I'd have a chocolate fountain, and then I would have a cheese fountain.
You'd also get that probably on your honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Jesus Christ.
I would have a karaoke thing. What else? Jesus. Just it would be ridiculous. I mean, I'd have a dope DJ, you know what I mean? And like Questlove would be there or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Shit. Where would you? What would be the musts?
We'd probably go to a divorce court. I'm just kidding. No, so dumb. I would say, God, okay, if it's like just whatever I want, it would be our friends. See, one of the things I have a problem, I don't know if it's a problem with, or one thing I always think about, like with weddings and stuff, is I never want to put my friends and family out. So,
That's exactly.
like a destination wedding, like what kind of an asshole does a fucking destination wedding?
That's
Where
why I
was
didn't
your
send you.
wedding?
That's why I didn't send you an invite. That's
Yeah,
why I
I'm
didn't
just
send you an
saying.
invite
I'm
because I was
fucking with
like, you know what? It's
you.
weird though because there was a part of me that's like, I don't want to put everybody out and ask them to spend $1,000 or more
Is your
that they
phone
probably
on? It keeps like making
does it.
a weird noise.
Hold on
My
one sec.
phone's on airplane mode.
Let me see something.
You look like your
Um,
head's concaved,
I know it's so
caved in with
fucking.
the when you turn it a certain angle. Oh, you're good now. But yeah, your neck just disappeared. Uh, uh,
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna
okay,
turn
you
this one on airplane.
yeah, and then you were saying about the destination wedding and
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because there's a part of me that's like, I don't want to put it like I'm just like you. I didn't want to put anybody out. I didn't want anybody to have to come up with $1,000 that they didn't have to, not only fly out there, but then get a hotel and then pay for food. So ultimately, if I were to do it, it would probably be local. And then, hey, I mean, that's the tough part is I have family in California. You have family in Oregon. You have family, all over the place. And it's like, so what's the most convenient? I mean, I don't want to do a 3 or 4 weddings, but I'd probably do, just one in a centralized kind of spot where
I
no,
would do Vegas. I
yeah,
because it's
that's
cheap flights there, or here there
yeah,
here cheap flights here, and and it would be like the it wouldn't feel like a wedding. It would feel like
yeah,
it's just going to be a fun weekend. So get your flight out here. I would say we'd hit up a bunch of the crazy, like some of the dopest shows they have here.
yeah.
They got everything here. Excuse me, maybe do an escape room for fun, like
Ooh,
everybody, like they have a Saw, like the movie Saw, they have a Saw themed
no
escape room out
shit.
here. It's I've done it twice. It's dope.
Nice. Walking through syringes and shit.
Dude, they have it's crazy. I mean, they really did it up. It's probably the best like escape room I've seen.
I still
um
have yet to do one. I honestly, I think this is what I would do.
I
I
just
would
heard
have
that thing again. That's so weird. I don't know what it is
maybe it's
that's
my,
making.
I don't know. Hopefully, it
uh,
doesn't show up on the recording.
all right, keep
Anyways,
going. Sorry.
I think ultimately what I would do is I would buy a house instead of the wedding, and then just have everybody come to the house, throw a barbecue, and then have everybody, I guess, just give me a wedding present to furnish the house. So
Ah, nice. That's
yeah,
yeah, that's smart.
saving money.
That's dope. Yeah, and yeah, I would want to do something with where everybody's like, just like you said, fun shit. Whether it's, I mean, like for who was it? Was it Johnny's wedding? We went to like a Mariners game and uh or like on my birthday one time in LA we did an escape room and movie, and the movie was awful, but it was so funny because it was just comics and we're just shitting on the movie through the movie to the point where at first like people I think were a little annoyed at us talking,
Yeah.
but then they were like on board and they were like dying at the shit we were saying. We saw that rock movie where it was like, was it an earthquake?
Oh my god, I think I was there with you. Wasn't no. Was that the one where he had one leg and he was hopping around and
No,
shit?
no, no, no. It
Oh,
was the
okay.
other one where there was a
Oh,
scene where
I
his
remember that one.
his daughter like had fucking huge tits and was like, well, the only reason I say this because like there was a scene where like she was underwater and
Hmm.
she's like swimming and like it was like in slow motion, and there was like
Yeah.
different parts of the movie where like somebody would get rescued or whatever and everybody would clap in the audience, and all of us as comics were like, what the fuck? So at the scene where this girl's underwater and her tits are just jiggling in the water, we all just started clapping and everybody just started dying. But shit like that,
San Andreas. San
yes,
Andreas.
yes, that was it. Oh fuck, dude. But yeah, we had a blast. We did a escape room and did the movie and stuff like that. And so I mean, also it'd be I'd want to do something that like if there's an interest that me and my girl both have, maybe I don't know if she's into video games, like we would like you said, maybe an arcade or some like one of the like the Star Wars thing they have here that's like a
Oh,
VR thing. You have a
yeah, yeah,
gun and it's very interactive and stuff. I mean, dude, there's so much shit to do here in Vegas. So I would
yeah.
do it here and then pick from all the different shit we have going on here because I mean,
Crazy.
it's
Yeah,
entertainment capital.
totally. It's a great
Uh,
question.
yes. Okay, you want to take the next one or present the next one?
Yes. Let's see. So, what's a date
Mm.
you haven't gone on that you want to try?
two chicks. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I'm down. Um, God, there's so many different possibilities. It's like there's a part of me that wants to go on like one of those blimps, you know what I mean, and like do
mm.
dinner on that. But then I think about the Hindenburg and how that shit like blew up. So I'm like, oh, maybe not.
That's how I ask girls if they want to have sex. I'll be like, hey, you want to ride this blimp?
You want to check out the Hindenburg?
Yeah.
Leave you burning.
Yeah. Oh God.
uh,
um, um,
yeah, what's a date that I haven't
I've
done?
done like I'm trying to think of some dates I've done that were fun. I've done an escape room, a date on an escape room.
See,
That
that
was
would be cool.
that was fun, and she had a blast. She had never done one, and she had it was great.
Yeah, maybe like a
Uh,
swingers party or something. I don't
yeah.
know.
Like I think of like stuff that I've done that, or ghost hunting maybe, or like a ghost tour.
That
That
would
was
actually be.
I did that in Boston. That was but I did that with buddies. But here in Vegas, like maybe 2 years ago, my buddy Greg Wilson was out here. We were both out here. We were working together, and I don't hardly ever do drugs, but this while he was here, I got it. I think I had a vape pen. I got high, and we
Yeah,
went
yeah.
and saw the Prince tribute show,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was fucking so good. It was,
Nice.
dude, and then you're high, and you're just like, this is amazing. uh, so yeah, I would. I'm trying to think what's something I haven't done.
You know what I would want to do is who was the guy who owned Virgin?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. I can even
Yeah.
picture him.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like Bronson or something or
Yeah, I
whatever.
think it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something Bronson or
So
Bronson.
yeah, yeah. They have like it seemed like a safer version of like the SpaceX kind of thing where it's like a plane that goes into the atmosphere. You can kind of see space and everything above, above the earth. So that would be dope. If it was safe, I would totally go do that. But I'm not gonna fly on SpaceX after that shit just blew up.
Yeah.
So
Is there anything that's 100% safe, Manny?
no, I mean, but
You're
I
like, I
mean,
won't do it.
yeah, okay, but I mean, when you give me 50% odds, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not gonna go jump
What's
on.
the odds that you would need?
I'd need at least 95%. I
Oh,
mean, if
jeez, you
dude,
fucking
yeah. I don't even know if a plane has 95%.
yeah. What the
A
fuck?
plane has like 90. What's the odds that you would have to have if they were like you may not come back from this shit?
Oh man. I mean, yeah. Dude, even saying, I mean, it would probably be up there.
Yeah,
Uh, it's the not knowing. Like, if somebody were to say, you know that like planes, it's only like 50%. I would be
right.
like, why would you tell me that? uh, it's a trip. Is when I had knee surgery. Sean was there with me at the hospital, and they were about to put me under. I said to Sean, I go, you know what? I'm totally, you have to sign the thing that if you
Yeah,
pass
yeah.
away, and they're like, it's obviously hardly, it's not really a thing, but you got to sign. And then after I signed it, I looked at Sean. I was like, I'm totally cool if I die. And he was like, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, dude, that would be, if I could go anyway, that I'll be totally fine with that. If I
For sure.
die on this, Sean, I'm totally fine with it. He's like, yo, quit fucking saying that.
Dude, yeah, I had to go in for a similar kind of thing where I can't remember if it was my
Penis
Achilles.
reduction?
Yeah, it was way too big. They were like, "Sir, it's scraping on the ground. You're getting a
Yeah.
callus on your uh but I'll never forget after I came out, I was like
What?
groggy
Wait, hold on.
after I came out of the closet, Jay.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm gonna edit it right there. Like, tune in to find the rest of the sentence.
So yeah, after I signed the paperwork, they put you under, and then you just wake up in the recovery room, and I'll never forget Crystal standing there, and I'm like, you guys gave me a vagina, and then like, and then
What?
yeah, I'm just playing around, right? And the doctors are laughing, and then I told the same joke like 3 more times, and they were like, you've already told that to us, sir. And I was like, it's still great every time, isn't it? Just ridiculous.
Did you have to when you came out? Did they tell you had to piss?
I don't think so. Did they tell you that?
So they gave me is it epidermal where they put it in your spine or whatever.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was funny. I was on the thing, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna see if this works, and they put it in my spine or whatever, and then I'm trying to remember. I think if they were like, okay, start counting, and I was knocked out. So when I came to or whatever, the lady was like, you need to we have to have you pee within, I think it was like 30 minutes, otherwise we're gonna have to stick a thing down your dick. And
Oh,
I
a
was like,
catheter down.
yeah.
Damn.
And I was like, come on, man, fucking come on.
It's always so
Nope.
hard to pee when you have to.
Yeah, and then I
Jesus
couldn't,
Christ.
so they stuck the catheter down, and I didn't feel it, but I guess I was still under or whatever.
Yeah.
But I shouted to the lady in the other room that was inserting it. Hey, it's all right, you're in. No,
That's so
like,
stupid.
they're like this. Oh,
Oh
no,
God.
but it didn't hurt like when that first the insertion or whatever. But then like the next 2 or 3 times I pissed, it was like
Ooh.
razors. Yeah,
Oh.
I was like they fucking they
Jesus.
go in no lube, I guess, when they fucking put it in there.
Could you at least spit on it? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, date. I don't know how we got here from date you haven't been on. The space thing, that's a pretty interesting one. I'm not into like fucking bungee jump or parachuting or
No.
into that shit. That's like,
You know there's a weight limit on that shit too? Like
yes, I
on
do, Manny. Thanks.
sorry, I wasn't talking about you. No, we have a comic buddy who
I'd have to
said
do Operation Dumbo.
hey, you know what's so crazy to me is they drop tanks with like parachutes, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But a comic buddy of ours was like, he was talking about that because he tried to go
Who was it?
skydiving. Yogi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was like, "So you mean to tell me I'm too fat to fall?" And I was like, "It's such a great line."
That's a good line.
So fucked up.
Uh, yeah. So it wouldn't be any like extreme sports shit. Ghost hunting would be fun if she's into that because I think fear is funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Hot air balloon. I don't know.
mm,
I went on a hot air balloon and that shit just,
what if they're like 60%, Manny?
dude, I went on it and it didn't feel safe at all. Like, I mean, we were on this thing and all of a sudden it's like, fuck, if I tip over the front of this because I'm tall and it's like I'm not okay with the basket being below my waist. You know what I mean? So it's like I was holding on for dear life and I'm just like, what happens if I just fainted and fell forward? Like, so I was like, yeah. I mean, after everything was done, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm down with you. I'd like to go on like one of those ghost adventures. That'd be a good date.
Yeah, if
For a
we're
first
like,
date.
there's no limit. Like, obviously, if you were
Yeah.
like, we'll go to space, I would say, maybe a trip, like a trip to somewhere I haven't been before. If
You ever been to Australia?
No.
I kind of want to check that out. That'd be a cool trip. Dubai. After seeing a video
I
out
do.
there.
I do sometimes.
Oh, do you?
I do buy.
Just I'm so angry right now.
Fucking do sell.
Ooh. No, yeah, I mean Dubai looks like a dope place. I mean,
Yeah.
they've built it, I mean, from the ground up. And it just was like, I mean, God, they literally just I was watching a video. They literally just they found oil, everybody got rich, and or the country got rich, they built it up, but they only make 5% of their income off of the oil. Everything else is off tourism.
Oh,
So, or I mean, a large portion. I would say like 25% or something. So it's pretty dope.
You went from everything else, aka 95%, to so like 25%. Yeah, Dubai would be sick. Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rome. There's China. I'd love to check out.
You know what's one that I would like to do is there's this year-long cruise where they take you around the world, and I think that
it's for a year.
It's for a year, and you stop everywhere. That would actually be a dope trip.
I wonder how much that is, dude. I read the story about a guy that's retired, and he lives on cruise ships.
Wow.
He doesn't pay like for an old folks home or any of that shit. He just lives off cruise ships. Keeps his his just brings his clothes that he needs, and he's on a cruise ship nonstop.
Can you imagine that?
Dope.
You're probably just smashing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's also fucking. I don't know if he can get it up, but
well, I mean, shit, I'd bring some Viagra on that trip. You know what I mean? And just like you're like, especially when you're meeting like widows, and everybody's like just flirting. Like, why not?
I mean, it's actually kind of genius because your food's all free.
Yeah,
free drinks,
dude. You think about it. I mean, if he's gone, okay.
Life.
But yeah, let's play numbers for a minute. So you're elderly. You're paying
income.
Fixed income. Maybe it costs you $2,000 for what is it, 2 weeks or maybe
I think
4 weeks?
Oh, for 4 weeks. Yeah, maybe. Let me look. Let me look at a month-long cruise. I'm just gonna. Oh, I don't have. Or no, I can do this.
No, you're good. I mean, we'll figure it out. But
keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah. But I think that's a great, interesting thought right there. It's like, let's say at the max, you were paying 2,000 a month to go on a cruise, and your food's paid for, you got a bed. Literally, that's cheaper than some of these like retirement homes that are costing you 3,000 because you need a medical assistant, you got food coming in.
Okay, we're way off.
Are we? Oh God, what is it?
I'm looking at 4 week slash month long cruise specials. 29 nights, Northern Gems and Iceland cruise, $14,000.
That's probably the higher end. There's some shitty ones. I mean, that
Um,
you could probably go on for like 5,000. I mean, but
here's
still,
a here we go. How to get a cheap cruise for as little as $30 a day.
yeah.
So
You know what though? If I was retired, I would work on a cruise. You know what I mean? I'd be that old motherfucker just like cleaning that shit,
what would your
or
job be? What would you do?
I'd clean toilets. You know what I mean? And just like, oh man, I get to live on the cruise. But the thing you got to worry about on a cruise is there's so many diseases that kind of go around as far as like norovirus. And Corona was on one ship and they didn't even want to bring it into port. So I mean, that shit is crazy. So, if you have a weakened immune system, you got to be careful. But I mean, what a great way to live, especially if you were a millionaire. It's like, I'm not gonna.
Dude, yeah, your room is cleaned for you. Dude,
Yeah.
you get a nice room, like a big enough. Yeah, that's kind of fucking dope.
You go watch a C-list comedian kill it on the
Yeah,
cruise list.
fucking boat act.
Yeah, exactly. God, I need to do that.
Stupid. Okay. Next one. How would you address your lady or how would you dress if you're how would you address if your lady tells her girlfriends everything?
Ooh. I feel like I had that at one point where it was just like, damn, we don't got no secrets between us, and they're telling everything. I guess it kind of depends too what kind of secrets are being told.
Everything.
Everything. Damn. I mean, it's like,
Like
yeah,
she tells her
girl.
friends that shit you got on the tip of your dick.
And then
Everybody,
she's
right? Right, everyone.
dude, that would be rough because it's like, she's like, oh my God, girl, he couldn't keep it up last week because, and then all her girlfriends are looking at you in secret when you're at the next get together. Damn.
They're like, "What's wrong, Manny? You seem a little down."
I'd be like, you
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
You immediately look over at your girl. Like, what the fuck?
The fuck did you tell
Uh,
them? Oh
yeah,
God, that
dude. That would be yeah, that'd
yeah.
be kind of fucking annoying because then you get to the point where you're like, well, are you dating them or me? Like,
Exactly.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the thing of like when I'm at home, like me and you when we were roommates, we never did this shit, but I've had people that I've had to tell them like, if I'm at home, don't fucking like try and get me like on camera. Like I'm trying to
Oh,
relax here. I don't want to feel like I have to be on guard or worry about how I'm being presented at home. This is my fucking, my fortress of solitude. What?
can you imagine that shit? I walk out of the bedroom, I'm recording. I'm like, look at this sorry motherfucker still in his underwear, not doing the dishes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just like some like really fucked up shit.
Yeah, and you're like
Yeah.
you're like still getting the sleep out of here. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck, man?
dude.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was over here and I had brought wrinkles in and I have to wipe his ass because he fucking yeah, he has like fucking diarrhea and they don't have Frenchies don't really have tails, so I
Yeah,
don't want shit all over so it literally he gets done shitting, he comes in, I gotta wipe his ass. And my
right.
buddy was like filming. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why I thought
Yeah,
it'd be cool to film. I go, dude, can you just delete it? I'm at home. I'm just
yeah,
fucking, or can
yeah.
you get the
That's
fuck out?
dude, and that's the thing. I won't say any names, but there have been comics that don't know etiquette about green rooms. And it's like when you're in the green room, you don't just take pictures of people, you don't record shit. This is okay. So this one comic, I don't think he knew because he was still a young comic back then, but he would take pictures of everything. And I think it was because he did the open mics and he would take pictures and he wanted to promote his open mic. So one weekend, and I'm still kind of like mad that I gave away this weekend because Russell Wilson was in the audience, right? And I gave it to two younger comics because they had won a contest. And so Jeff Dye had brought Russell and everything. But the younger comic was taking pictures of trying to take them of Russell and all his people. And Russell's like bodyguard was like, yo, man, you need to put the phone down, and just like literally almost took the phone from him. And it's just like, dude, you got to know when to just be chill and to
Yeah.
turn it off. So,
Yes, turn it off.
and
Fuck.
even just like ask. I mean, like be careful about asking like headliner, yo, can I get a picture? It's like fill that shit out first. Don't just ask, or don't just like be like, yo, man, I need a pic. And
I
so,
remember I think it was oh what's I can't remember, but there was a I was working with Bobcat Goldthwait and
mhm.
the feature. Oh, actually, I do remember who it is, but I won't say. But the feature, Bobcat Goldthwait's from Boston. I started in Boston. This comic that was featuring started in Boston, so he was all amped up about Bobcat,
Mhm.
and he asked if he could do a Bobcat Goldthwait impression to Bobcat, and Bobcat's I don't even remember if he was like, no, nah, that's cool, whatever. So then that guy told Ruben, the manager, nobody in the green room, right? So we
Yeah.
had to stay in the pool room, right? Well, one night I knock on the green room because I'm gonna get some water. I knock on the door and Bobcat's like, all right, come in. I was like, hey Bobcat, sorry, I'm just getting some water. He goes, Jay, it's not you. That other dude though, I can't handle it. And I've worked with Bobcat since then. He's the fucking best.
Dude, yeah, and that's the thing. When you're chill, I mean, people like you the most. When you laugh at jokes that are funny in the green room that they tell, yeah, they're like, yo, let's keep this dude around, you know? And it's like when you're extra, they're like, please get him. I've seen motherfuckers get kicked off the first show of the weekend because of because they don't have the etiquette. But back to the girlfriend thing. I mean, I think you just or boyfriend thing. If somebody is sitting there telling every single secret that you guys have, I'd be like, look, you gotta like dial this shit back, or this relationship isn't gonna work
Yeah,
because
I'm
we
like,
gotta
what's for us? What's us? What's our, are
exactly.
we ever gonna have our own little secrets, or
Yeah,
our little like inside jokes? We
yeah.
can't if you're fucking presenting them to everybody.
Exactly. Can you imagine that? I like something bad happens at work. You're like, you get fired, like, please just don't tell anybody. She's like, girl, this sorry motherfucker just got fired again.
Yeah.
So,
They start messaging you on Facebook. Hey Manny, I heard you lost your job. You're like, what? Yeah, just might have an idea of a place you could apply for, and you're like, oh fuck, dude.
oh my God, that would be the worst, man. Oh, yeah.
I'm
But I
trying
think,
to.
I think you got to address it right
Yeah,
off.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had anything and that also will cause friction because their their girlfriends are not going to just take the info and that's it. They're going to have input on it.
Exactly.
Like if you're venting to your girlfriends about every fucking thing, they're going to
Whew.
have, well, you should do this or you should, and then you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
man.
and I mean, here's another good thing to think about is that my mom always told me this. She's like, when you and Crystal get in a fight, don't tell me about it because when you forgive her, I'm still upset about the shit. So it's
Interesting.
like, you
Your
don't
mom's
want,
smart.
yeah, you don't want your friends being like, oh fuck Manny, and you forgiven me, but now it's like I can't go around them because they're still mad at me.
Dude,
So,
I'm trying to think. All of my buddies that are married or in relationships, I don't think it ever comes up anything about their girl and them.
mm-mm.
Like the most, I have a buddy of mine. His wife is pregnant right now, and the most he'll say is he'll be like, yeah, I just got to get out of the house. That's
Yeah,
literally it. He's not like fuck her or this or that or she's driving me crazy. He literally is just like, I got to get out of the house for a little bit. And
yeah,
and then my response is like, I get it, and then that's the end of it. That's literally all we will talk
yeah,
about. Like
exactly.
that's interesting. I'm curious for women, like how much is that you're in your guys' conversation? How much is related to your men's
Right, your men's.
your men's and them? Um, this question: Could you date a conjoined twins or I guess, do you say a conjoined twins or the conjoined twins? Could you date a conjoined twin, two heads, one body, or two bodies attached at the ass cheeks or titty? What? Who fucking wrote this one? Who
It's
wrote
fucking
in?
worse.
Um, okay, so let's break this down into parts. Okay, first,
Okay.
could you date a conjoined twin? Is it count as a threesome?
Dude, I don't know. That's a
I
fucking deep question. I mean, I guess
Okay,
it
yeah, I
depends.
think it's
One, okay, let's say, so what is it? One body, two heads?
no. I would tell you right now, I no, I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do, I don't think I don't think I could do either.
I don't think I could. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, dude, anywhere that it's a conjoined twin, I don't think I could date. You know,
I
it
mean,
doesn't matter if it's the head. You could, what are you going to take her shirt off and then there's just a fucking face right here underneath her tit? Hey, what's up, cuz? You like these titties? And while you're sucking on her tit, this head is just kissing you on your ear and cheek. Ah, what the fuck?
Dude. The other head's blowing you while you're making
Yeah.
out. Jesus Christ.
By the way, I have to give a shout out. I obviously this is a fucked up how we're talking about it. Jimmy Schubert, an amazing comedian, has a
Yes.
joke about conjoined twins that were on. I don't know what show they were on.
Yeah.
Just do a search for Jimmy Schubert conjoined twins, and it is fucking like tears. It is such a good bit, and it's like
Yeah.
so wrong, but he's even saying in it, he's like, I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying.
Dude, that would be such a hard one. I mean, I think if they were attached to like the hip and then they were eventually going to get the surgery, I mean,
Do
I
you even get to that point though?
yeah, probably not. I mean,
Like
what
they come
okay.
up to you in the bank and they're like, hey, we want to know if you wanted to go out with us.
Okay, wait, let's say that. Okay, that's the scenario, right?
Okay,
But let's
all
say
right.
they both look like Selma Hayek, but they're just attached at the hip. And then they're like, "Oh, we're going to get this, we the doctors finally found a way to separate us to where we don't die."
Okay. I was like, cool. So when's that happening?
Okay, and then okay, let's say they're like, "Oh, it's going to happen in like a month."
All
Right?
right, dope. I'm in. I really like you and everything. By the way, I'm going out of town for about a month, but we can talk the whole time. I can't wait to see you when I get back.
Yeah, God, that would be
Oh, dude.
ridiculously tough. Oh man.
And here's another one. Okay,
Yeah,
conjoined twins,
yeah.
and then the one of the conjoined twins is a male. So you start going down on the girl, and then a boner comes out of her shoulder. You're like, what the fuck is that? Starts sticking you in the ear.
Oh my God. He's like, "Hey, my bad.
Hey, what's up, Blake?
Oh
Can you
my.
turn those lights off? I don't really want to see my sister getting fucked.
Oh my God, dude, that would be crazy. I didn't even think about that. If that's even possible.
Dude.
Oh my God. That would be nuts.
Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, my first reaction, I think I'll stick with it. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I'm too shallow. You know what I mean? Like, I wish you the best, but yeah, that's a tough one. I mean,
should you do a PC Manny? I mean, we don't want to lose
yeah,
we don't want
yeah.
to lose like those two listeners.
I just want to say here on Love It Black or White, the way you were born is perfect. And don't worry about idiots like me and Jay, because you know what? There's nothing funny about a birth abnormality. We just want to say that you are perfect the way you are, and maybe that there is another conjoined set of twins, or somebody out there who loves you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are. So don't you ever change. Don't worry about splitting up. You know what? Just make sure you are living the best life you can. Back to you, Jay.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah,
You're
we want you
welcome.
to stick around. Don't split
Yes.
on us. Jesus. What a fucking wild question, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh my God.
And it's like, it's interesting with this podcast. I think we're very transparent and very honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I was just going to say, is there anybody listening? I know the first reaction, like if we were putting on a facade,
Yeah.
and like you get that question, your first is like, well, if you want to be, I mean, me personally, if I was being horseshit, well, what are they like as the person? And I can see if fuck all that. No, I couldn't do it. I know me.
Yeah.
It's just like the joke. I mean, it's a true story, but the joke I tell about going out with the trans chick. I know me. If you could if you say this trans woman in front of you, it's Selma Hayek, spitting
Right.
image, had the surgery but has a vagina now, or has a vagina now, but is a twin of Selma Hayek. I just know me and how my head works and everything. It would always be in the back of my mind. Like she could have the prettiest vagina in the world, but I was like, there used to be dick and balls right there. I couldn't fucking get past it. I just know me, and I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any of this shit to try and offend any trans people. I even say in the trans joke I have that, I'm not trying to shit on trans people, but the one woman that lied
Yeah.
about being trans. I am trying to shit on her, but and it's my story to tell. It's a fucking it happened to me, so I got to tell the story.
You know what I love about us is that we are never like, okay, here's the thing. If Kevin Feige was to be like, damn, Jay looks perfect for the thing, and I'm gonna cast him for the Fantastic Four, they're gonna find our episodes and be like, you know what? They're fucking we can't cast them.
And that's fine,
And that's fine. I get it,
But I mean, the thing is, like, this is no underlying shit. Like, it's everything's up front.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
totally.
we
And also we let people know up front. This is a comedy show first and foremost. And you know what? We do. We honestly do love everybody, and we mean no ill will against anybody.
yeah,
But these are just things. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like when I see sometimes I'll see people comment online and put things like a trans woman shouldn't have to tell you that she was a man before. And I'm like, I think that that's not fair because what if,
yeah.
you know what I mean? What if, one like first off, I want you to be safe, but I don't think it's fair to somebody if I'm like, okay, I want to have kids, and all of a sudden now we've been together 10 years, and you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you
Yeah,
that
or
I
maybe you're like, hey, I want to have a vagina.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Or I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure that they have surgeries to make it, 100% like the, thing, but
Mm.
I don't think it's fair
The
to lie
Thing? Are
to
we still
some.
talking about Fantastic Four?
Yes, the thing from Fantastic Four.
No, I
But
mean, I say in my joke, because this trans chick that I went out with, and I intentionally in the joke say trans chick
yeah, yeah.
because it's like, okay, I don't like that he says chick, but I mean he is using the proper pronoun by referring to as a trans woman, but no, but I say in the joke. So this trans lady that I went out with, she didn't put in her profile that she was trans,
Right,
and then when we met, I knew pretty quickly. I was like, oh, I think this is a trans woman, just not my thing or whatever.
right.
I say in the joke, I go, I think you got to put that in your profile because I go, I'm not really into blondes. If I can't get past that, you think I can get past that you may or may not have been born with a penis, you know?
Dude, yeah, 100%.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I could not date conjoined. I could maybe date divorced conjoined twins or separated.
Yeah.
I don't know any scenario that I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. You know what I mean? It's like saying, okay, like the perfect chick, right? Let's say she's once again Selma Hayek, Beyonce type, just gorgeous, right? But then she's like, "Hey Jay, I have a secret to tell you. My vagina's in my hip." So, you know what
We call you side buster.
I
um
mean?
oh man, that's well okay. I was gonna go somewhere that I guess could kind of play with this.
Yeah.
um so okay, could you date someone that's paralyzed?
Ooh.
They were born in a wheel, not born in a wheelchair, Jesus Christ, but they were born, they will never walk.
Right.
They upper body they have full use, but they just their legs don't work. They're in a wheelchair. Could you date a woman in a wheelchair?
Damn, that's so hard. I
And
mean,
it's not, it doesn't happen after you guys have been dating. You meet her, maybe you work with her at the bank. She's in a wheelchair.
yeah, man, that's hard because it's and I'm sure that she knows how to get around and function and do
Oh
everything on
man,
her own. Um,
get around.
oh my God, Jay, do I need to clean that up too?
I don't know. You said it.
No, I mean, like,
No, I don't think you did. No, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
but is it a thing of, gosh, there's so many things that I would want to do that in my head, and this is probably kind of shallow on me, that I
That's why
want.
I said this is going to be a tough one because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like a lot of these scenarios. It's like we know, me and you know how like there's not really a way to say our true feelings without it being like Jesus, man. But I
Right.
mean, we could either give it to you honest or we can give you horse shit, and we
Totally.
always are being honest. So that's why I
Yeah.
said it's going to be a tough one. But go ahead. What we
Yeah, I mean,
there's.
like, that's the thing. We'll never be able to really go on a hike,
I
if
mean, you don't like
that's.
hiking though,
I don't like hiking, you know what I mean?
so
But,
maybe.
you know, yeah, I think about it.
Your buddy's like, you want to go hike? You're like, I'd love to, but my wife, I can't really go hiking.
Yeah, I mean, that's so tough. I think that there's a lot of things that you'd have to take into account. You probably couldn't have a two-story home if that's what you wanted.
Mm.
And that's something really,
Unless you
basic.
have like elevators, an
Yeah, if you
elevator,
had
maybe.
elevators, but you got to also think about the cost. You need to think about, okay, you probably need to invest in a car that's, that could carry the wheelchair,
Ramps.
ramps.
Oh, that's
What
it.
is it? What is it going to be like if she gets pregnant and has twins? She probably won't be able to uh, help as much. I mean, there's, you know, they could probably sit on her lap and get around, but hey, that's true. That's true. She fucking asshole. I
I
can't
didn't
say
say a
anything
word.
without.
I didn't say anything.
But I mean, there are certain things that are just make it that much tougher. And I don't know if I ever told you about my aunt. My aunt, she was um when she was probably in her 20s, she this is crazy, got hit by a train and got
I'm trying to think if you told me this.
so this is okay. So for those of you who don't know, my family has the whole premonition thing where we dream about things before it happens, right? My aunt used to live with us, and when she was younger, and she had this dream that she lost her leg, right? Ran into my mom's room crying hysterically, and my mom just told her was like, "Hey, it's just a
Not
dream."
in the dream. She didn't run into your mom's room in the dream after
No,
she
yeah,
lost
not
her
the dream.
leg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she woke up from the dream, had a nightmare that she lost her leg. My mom, she's like, "Oh my god," or my aunt's like, "Oh my god, I had a dream I lost my leg." My mom looks at her and is like, "It's just a dream. Go back to sleep." A few months later, she was dieting poorly. And for those of you who have been to the Bay Area, we've got Bay Area Rapid Transit, which is BART, and it's a train system. My aunt passed out, fell onto the tracks, and
Jesus Christ.
somebody pulled her up last second, and the train severed her leg. But I think that it hit her to the point where she is in a wheelchair, has limited mobility, and just crazy. So I experienced what it was like for my mom to have to really step in and help her sister, like from things like unfortunately wiping her behind and like,
Mm,
bathing her. So there's all these things. I mean, if you're dating somebody who's in a wheelchair, that doesn't mean, if they have all their upper body functionability, but you're going to have to invest in a house when you guys do get, married, where it has bigger doors so that they can use the restroom. You have to invest in maybe things that don't, you'll have to have ramps around the house. So, I think about all those things and how difficult it was for my mom to, help my aunt. But I mean, damn, I'll be honest, probably not for me. Like, I mean, we could be best friends and I can help you out. You can call me
yeah.
up and I'll be there for you to do whatever you need. Even if it was like a friend and they're like, Jay, let's say you got paralyzed and you're like, hey, man, I need you to wipe my ass. My hands don't work. I'd be like, unfortunately, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But we got to find a way
You're
to get
just
him.
crying. Oh God, why are we friends?
I would do it in a heartbeat, but it was
Yeah,
like I'd be like, we need to find a bidet or something to help
yeah,
you.
yeah,
But it's difficult. So I mean, for you, I don't know, what would you do?
yeah. Yeah. Just thinking about. I mean, I would put it this way. It wouldn't be something like I mean, I know there's fetishes and people. I mean, I was gonna say it wouldn't be something that I would seek out, like
Yeah.
but if I mean, I try and put myself in that. Let's say there's a comic and she's in a wheelchair and she's
Yeah.
fine and cool as shit and everything. Because there's been girls I've seen on like the dating apps that are in the wheelchair that are fine, and I swipe
Oh
right
yeah.
on them if I think they're cute or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, they may be assholes, I don't know,
yeah.
but
Excuse me, I
I'm
can do
like
it
that
myself.
mouth work,
Fuck.
right? I'm just kidding. It's fucking so bad.
Jesus Christ. But
But no, but
it,
I mean, so yeah, I'm trying to think if I met, and she's cool as shit, and maybe we start hanging out. We're hanging out just as colleagues, as
yeah.
comics and stuff. And she's always been beautiful. I'm trying to project like the idea of like somebody I can think of it that's a comic that's real pretty, and now she's in a wheelchair, and we're hanging
Yeah.
out, and then yeah, and then fucking maybe we kiss one night, and then fuck yeah, I don't know. I mean, my initial response is yeah, I probably not, but then also like if you connect with someone and then you're like it's just it would be that thing where you're like okay I gotta if I want to take it definitely would be something where I wouldn't just be like if it maybe we'd kissed or whatever and it's starting to go somewhere I would definitely need to take a minute and be like okay I don't want to fuck around and just
Right.
like this just be some fling so I
Exactly.
either need to know am I going to commit to this or I don't want to go down that road
Yeah, I think it's
um
tough for me because it's like I got a buddy who had a diving accident His previous girlfriend's uncle, he asked him, he was like, "How deep's the water?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's at least 20 feet." Was only probably like 6 or 7 feet. Dove in, compressed his spine. He literally sat on the bottom of the water, almost drowned. They pulled him up, and now he's confined to a wheelchair. And it's like, all I want is for that dude to find somebody who will love him. And because nobody, you see him, and he's a good dude, right? And just like has a huge heart. And I want him to find love. And it's funny because I guess there was one of his caretakers that was like really in to like guys in wheelchairs, and so I think that it's working for him. And you think about Stephen Hawking, right? Stephen
Yeah.
Hawking, his wife,
Yeah.
knew that he was going through it, and still they had kids and everything
Whose
else.
pussy is this?
Oh, oh, oh.
I'm going to
So stupid.
Oh,
Oh
God.
man. But
Jesus Christ.
but ultimately, I
They
mean,
call me Stephen Cocking.
I think ultimately, that it comes down to what is what are you willing to, I guess, in your life, what kind of changes are you willing to make for that other person to accommodate them, and
I'm about to give you a horrible scenario.
go for it, go for it,
A
go for it.
tough one.
Yeah, yeah.
Crystal gets in an accident.
Divorce. No, I'm just
What?
I'm just kidding now.
Cut,
No.
edit. That's the teaser.
No,
I'm
I
sending
mean,
it to Crystal.
yeah. No, I'm sticking through that for sure. Because we've been together so long that it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not bailing on you. I'm not feeling like you're a burden, because I think if roles were reversed, you do the
Yeah.
same for me. And yeah, so that would be an easy one. I mean, I'm talking like vegetable kind of, you know what I mean? Like, in a chair, can't move. Like Daryl Stingley, you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
where it's like you literally are just neck up. I would do, yeah, I'd be there for my person in a heartbeat. I mean, it's tough because I've seen where we have a family friend who his wife was
Jesus
really,
Christ, what's up with all your
I
family
know,
friends?
right? Seriously. So
Fucking living, or your family's a mash unit.
yeah, seriously. So, family friend, his wife was really sick for a lot of years and ended up primarily just being her caretaker. And I'm sure that that's got to be tough. That was 100% love, but I'm sure that there's people who resent and are like, I can't live my life because this person's going through it. But ultimately, I would do it, and that's not for everybody, But
Okay.
just like Terrell, oh, sorry, not my buddy's girlfriend who left him after the whole thing. So, yeah.
Okay, here's a could you date someone blind?
That would be an easier one because I'd be doing stupid shit. Like I'd be like, yeah,
you're you're in an argument.
I could hear you fucking moving, you
Yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly.
Yeah, that would be an easy one. Deaf person, yeah, I could deal with that. I think that I hear you. All I know is in your head, you heard the whole
What?
trying to sound out. Oh my god! All right, just want to say that I was wrong, 100% wrong in my impression of trying to make out syllables and sounds from a deaf person. Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, I'm fine.
I was like, is that her having sex?
Screaming
Yeah,
out loud.
dude, the hand jobs would probably be amazing. That thing you did with my balls while you're
just an O.
Yeah. Did I tell you I think I might have told this previously on this about the deaf girl I hit on in actually it was here in Vegas, but this is probably 15-20 years ago.
Okay.
Did I tell you this?
No,
We
no,
were
no.
me and my buddies, we used to come out here every year, and we were at some nightclub, and there was the finest girl I'd ever seen. Was at this club, and there's like this dude talking to her, and I'm not gonna just go interrupt her, but I was looking at the dude she was talking to, and
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'm not, I'm a fat 8, but but I'm like this guy, fucking.
Yeah.
So, but I was patient, waited. So she starts going up these stairs, and I'm behind her, and I go, "Excuse me," doesn't turn around. So I say it a little loud, there's music playing. So I go, "Excuse me," doesn't turn around. So now in my head, I'm like, "This fucking bitch won't just ignore me, you fucking bitch." And then so I like tapped her like back of her elbow. I just go, "Excuse me," and she
Wait,
turned
wait.
around, and
It's
I
so
go,
funny. You literally look like you when you went like this. I was like, did you like? Yeah, I was like, did you slap her ass cheek? What the fuck?
No, I hit like I brushed her the back of her elbow. She's like,
Okay,
but, you know,
yeah.
and so I did that, and I was like, "Excuse me," and so she turns around, and I think I was like, what you know, asked her what her name was, and she goes, "I'm deaf," and I was like, "Oh," she didn't sign it, but she's
Wait,
like,
what
"I'm
did she?
deaf."
What did she say?
She goes, "I'm deaf." That's what she said.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe it might have been more like, "I know."
Go ahead. We're going
No,
now.
but she was like so fine, and so
Yeah.
so when she said she was deaf, I started laughing because I literally went from like fuck this bitch, she ignored me to like oh my god, oops. And so then it was actually kind of like sweet. It was cool. We went to a table and we literally for like a couple hours at this table we're just writing notes back and forth to each other because
That's
I didn't know
awesome.
sign language
Yeah.
and I didn't know what the fuck she was trying to say, so we had to write notes to each other. And I
uh,
remember I got her number, and then we talked through like there was the again this is like 15, 20 years ago, but we talked through the fucking machine thing, laughing.
because all I hear is Stephen Hawking now.
Yeah, it was a trip. Like
Yeah.
it was like a live person though that I would talk to this live person, and then they would
Yeah.
have to type it, and then she would read it, she would respond, and so it was always delayed. I could not imagine like, you want to have phone sex on that. Okay. Okay, I pulled my dick out. Okay, hold on. Pulled my dick out. You know. Okay, and send. Okay, just waiting, sir, for her response. Okay, my pussy is wet. I'm going to come.
Oh my god. You know
Yeah,
what? Have you I
but
don't
I talked to her for like, I was like, I did not give a fuck if she was deaf or whatever. She was beautiful and cool as fuck, and I don't even
oh.
remember what happened with that. I think she might have fucking just fucking take out her hearing aid.
So there's this there's this show on Netflix. It's called Deaf U, which
Mm.
is like a deaf university. And man, it's like some hoe ass shit. Like they're like everybody's fucking, and like they're like, I mean, literally, like some of the girls are like, Jamal, why didn't you call me back? And he was like, I get around, it just like it's wild. And it's like, I guess there's a hierarchy of deaf families where it's like, oh, both your parents are deaf and you're like established, and it's wild. I mean, like check it out. If you're interested, it's a fascinating documentary. I think it's a few episodes, but literally, like he was like, yeah, I was smashing the baddest chick at the school, and I was like, wow. So
Okay,
yeah,
I'm changing our teaser uh to next
go
week,
ahead.
which we'll do right now.
Okay.
Okay, we did the conjoined twins. Okay, I'm I gotta write it. So okay, could you date a person? Uh, hold on, writing it
Okay.
because I want to make sure.
Did you say it
Could you date a
right?
person with Tourette's, both verbal and physical? So yeah, and she yells racial slurs of all kinds randomly. Yeah.
But she's the finest motherfucker on the
and
planet.
and the and the sweetheart when she's not going fuck cunt kids cunt fuck. You know?
Inward,
You're in
inward, inward.
church. Fuck Satan cunt whore. Jesus, I shouldn't be making we fucking. You might want to PC that up.
I just want to say, uh, here on Love in Black and White, that if you have Tourette's, that is fine. You know, as long as you are, safe, that is what is most important to us. And letting people know. I don't know if you've seen the movie Joker, but he had an uncontrollable laugh that caused people to want to harm him. And I hope that that does not happen to you. Make sure that
And I
you are
also hope
safe.
you don't turn out how the Joker turned
To
out.
be like the Joker.
Yeah, we're gonna get fucking killed on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. No, but real talk. PC Manny stepping in here.
Yeah.
If you have Tourette's, just make sure that if there is, an opportunity to maybe get that, help that you might need to be able to function a little bit better in public. But I hope, honestly, that people are understanding of, that you're going through something and
Dude,
feeling it's okay.
I'm on TikTok now watching, I'm trying to get involved in TikTok, but there's a lady that has Tourette's, like the physical and the
Yeah.
verbal, and she was trying to get a COVID test.
Oh,
Dude, and the one lady's just holding the Q-tip for her nose, and
yeah.
there was a few times where she's like this, and she's like, oh God. And then it's a trip because she'll say like, she says to the lady, she's like, oh, sorry. And then she slaps her. Like her
Oh,
Tourette's, man. I'm like, but she can't control it.
dude,
Yeah,
there
it's
was there was somebody at the Comedy Underground who, I guess I wasn't there that night, but it was just Tourette's saying the N word, all kind of shit. And there's a part of me that's just like, yeah, right. Somebody put you up to that shit. You know what I mean? But I know real people deal with that stuff.
do
And
you know Paul Ogata?
no, actually, that
Comic.
name sounds really
He's a
familiar.
comic. He's here. He's actually in town, or he was last week.
Yeah.
He has a brilliant bit about Tourette's. I'm not saying I agree with this. It's a joke, so everybody relax. But he was saying, like his the angle he takes is, I don't know if Tourette's is real because he's like, it's it's only like English people speaking English. Like you never hear Spanish, like check out the And then he's like, how come sign language people don't have Tourette's, or like deaf people aren't signing like?
That's a good.
It's
Yep.
a cool premise, but
I remember Paul. Yeah.
yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so that'll be the could you date somebody with Tourette's? Both physical, verbal, and they throw out slurs like you fat Irish prick, I love you. Whatever.
Oh my god.
So that's a teaser. So
Awesome.
you want to plug anything, Manulus?
Yeah, still in quarantine land. So the only things I really got going on will be and see the Holly's Worthless podcast on Wednesdays, and then in the next 2 weeks, the newest episode of the season to forget, episode 2 will be coming out. So yeah.
Dope. And
Yes.
I will plug, let's see, next week I will be in Spokane, Washington. The week after that I will be in Tacoma, Washington. And then 2 weeks after that, I'll be in Sacramento, California. You can go to bigirishj.com for all of my dates. And other than that, I think we're good until next week, Manny.
We'll be putting the love back in your right. It's love in black and white.